Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions." His words underscore the power of our imagination, and imagination precedes all that we manifest in our life. But why do so many of us attract circumstances we'd rather avoid? The answer is simple: conditioning. We're taught to anticipate the worst, to prepare for the worst. In doing so, we unknowingly invite unwanted situations into our lives. The remedy? Start harnessing your imagination for the positive. Shift focus. Imagine only what you desire, because our reality, believe it or not, is first sculpted in the realms of our imagination.
Imagination represented the nothingness or perfection, and it manifested itself into conscious. Once it was conscious and it was aware of what it can do and its abilities, and manifested itself into physical bodies and then the world. So a lot of people, I had a lot of arguments, and people really argue these things, and these scientists use these big words to give explanations of things that's simple when you're tuned into yourself. So Marvin, you was talking about conscious, right, and imagination. And I was telling you that what the scientists doing now with Neuralink and trying to chip your brain is they understand conscious. They understand consciousness, because to be conscious is to be aware of something. But consciousness is us, the physical body, meaning conscious manifests itself into consciousness, right? So now you're able to move. But the one thing that they was trying to figure out is what gives to be conscious, where does the ideas come from? That's imagination. So all is imagination, right? So they call imagination the God gene, right? Because it's from the unseen comes the seen, right? So now, to be conscious, I have to be aware. So they say, well, how does all this stuff get manifested? They say, well, through consciousness. But everything comes from imagination, because in the physical body, you imagine everything. You bring it from the unseen to the seen, but you're conscious of it, right? But the conscious, because remember, separate conscious from consciousness, right? We separate that. We separate the two. Do you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
You understand? So because what they're telling you is they're trying to figure out, when you're conscious of something, where are these ideas coming from? And they said it's coming from the imagination, but they can't trap it. They can't trap it and harness the imagination. It's coming from the unseen. So they done put chips in your brain, they done chip the body, they done did all these things, and they can control your thoughts, they can control your ideas, they can even manipulate your conscious, but they can't manipulate your imagination. And this is why they want to center off the planet, and they want to get control of your brain, because if they can see what you're imagining before you do it. They made movies about this. What's that movie that they made when they was able to tell if you're going to commit a crime before you do it?
Minority Report.
Minority Report. Yeah, they get Elysium and all these movies, right? They put the truth right in front of your face, but you don't even realize it. So to be conscious is to be aware, but conscious imagination manifested itself into conscious. And then conscious manifested itself into consciousness, what you have these bodies. I'm gonna say it again. Imagination manifested itself into conscious. Conscious, which was aware, manifested itself into consciousness, because then it was aware of what it can do with itself. But imagination is the nothingness, and the nothingness manifested itself into conscious. Listen to it. Imagination represented the nothingness or perfection, and it manifested itself into conscious. Once it was conscious and it was aware of what it can do and its abilities, and manifested itself into physical bodies and then the world.
Right.
There you go.